peace, love, blessings. Hope everyone is well on this beautiful Friday, about to be afternoon. I am
Right.
just Eric, along with the good brother Cosmology Bay. Please feel free to check him out, subscribe, and engage with him. We here today. Want to discuss addiction a little bit. See what you guys, the thought process with you guys, and what y'all got going on.
Right.
Cos, how you doing, brother Cos? Everything is well.
Good. It just filled my stomach up. I'm feeling good and energized. How about you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm good. I'm good. I was excited to have this conversation
Yeah.
so, with you. Um, it's
Yeah.
addiction. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on addiction, Cos?
I said this type of conversations is long overdue. And I was
Mm,
thinking something like when you had told me about the topic, and I was like, wow, a lot of people they think that a person has to hit rock bottom to get help. But a lot of times if we catch the addiction early on, we might could save lives, man.
mm. Have like this is true, but in today's age, we're losing a lot of people rapidly. Like
Right?
rapidly. I was in the middle of posting something on the community wall before I did the live, but I didn't finish it, and then we ended up going live.
Okay.
But it's like we're losing loved ones, a lot of
Yeah.
people at a rapid pace because of this new ingredient. We just had the situation with I want to say Rich Kwan is his name.
Yeah, Rich Homie Quan, man. Rich
Rest
Homie
in
Quan.
peace. God
Too.
God bless them. What's that?
No, I said he made some good music, man. I liked
Mm,
his music early on. I liked a lot of his music. He's a talented brother.
very talented. I'm not too familiar. I've heard a couple things, and it got a good sound.
Right.
Um, this topic is very hot in on YouTube. I'm not talking about it because it's hot. I want to talk about it because I have experience in this. I have
Okay.
um I
So
have
remind us.
lost I have lost people to this, and I'm sure
Right.
plenty of people out there have lost
Absolutely.
lost ones as well.
Absolutely.
It's not it's not an easy thing to deal with. Now, when you think, is it mental? What's your point of view? Is it being addicted to something? Is it mental? Is it all in the mind, or is it a
Well,
disease,
now,
or what is it?
nowadays they got what you call designer drugs, right? So the drugs is designed for a certain DNA in a certain people, right? Like they say heroin. Heroin is more of a physical thing, right? Alcohol is more of a physical thing, and like the crack and cocaine is like I mean mental. So I guess it really depends on the person. You understand what I mean? But
Mhm.
it's very unfortunate. Rest in peace to the brother, man. I heard about that yesterday, and I was like, wow, because in this culture, right, I see it's promoted a lot, right? You got the a rapper, what's the brother's name? I forgot the young brother. He talks about I knew the perk was fake and I still ate it. And so it's being promoted where people think it's cool, and they think that whole swag is kind of cool, man. So we're here to talk
Mm,
about it today and bring some
right,
awareness.
right, right. That pill, especially when we're talking about the pills, that's the it's gonna lead to the heroin. If you ask me, it's that already, but in a pill form.
Right.
Like at a young age, I'm older now. I'm 41, but at a young age, I myself fell victim to the painkillers. I once was hooked real bad to them pain things, and fortunately for me, I have loved ones that helped me out, and a support system is very important to have a support system. But a lot of times,
Absolutely.
guys, a lot of times when we're dealing with people with these addictions, we want to stay away from them. We don't trust them. We think they're gonna steal everything, and it's experience. It has happened, but
Right.
we
Right.
we
To the
we
open
definitely
minded.
need we definitely need a support system.
Right. I think it's very important to have a support system, and what type of support system, right? Because you have some people that kind of aid in it, right? I knew some friends when I used to live in Long Island. the drugs is kind of heavy out there, right? West Amityville and all of that. And I see some of the mothers used to give the children, money to buy the drugs as long as they was able to do it in the house. And now here in New York, they got it these boxes where you put your in a sense like kind of encouraging it a little bit because they're saying if you do it, just put it in this needle in this box, right? So and then two, it could kind of be risky having a family member or a friend that's on drugs because everyone reacts different to help. So I think that people should always seek professional help, observe the person and try to talk to the person, whether it's somebody professional or if it's somebody in the family that person respects. You know what I mean?
Right, 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 right. It's tough because, yeah, at least through my experiences and people I know, and
That-
even
so-
myself, it's like
so-
we we push we push we push the loved ones away, like ourselves, especially like when we're under the influence. Like
right.
we could say some very hurtful things, like very
Yeah.
very hurtful.
We-
I
We're
could
black.
imagine I've said some hurtful things. Delvin, Miss 702, open minded,
Yep.
bless up.
So,
Thank y'all for being here.
yeah,
Open minded. If you can put subscribers mode on, that would be highly appreciated. I think you have the ability to do that.
okay.
But a support system is very
Yeah,
important, very very important. And
heavy.
addiction is also generational. You know, it's a generational disease.
Yeah, a lot of
It's very
times, like you said, a lot of times it's it's genetics, right? Like if we had parents that indulged in narcotics, then sometimes we might be prone to it. You understand what I mean?
right, right, right. Especially you born in the '80s. You know, the '80s was like the crack era, that
Brother FTP,
epidemic. Like
Vice,
a,
peace.
a lot of us, are products of that. Like we were born in this time. Our parents were in the streets doing God knows what, and it got stuck
Indulge.
in our DNA. But it's very unfortunate because today's there's a new ingredient. I'm gonna say that. I hope y'all know what I mean when I say there's a new ingredient that's out there that's being
Right.
put in all these different things, and it got our people dropping at a rapid pace, and
They
it's like a
putting
straw. Right?
They're putting crack and cocaine in the weed. Look at this spot. I think it was in Harlem. They just busted about 2 weeks ago. I think it was called Exotic something. You could Google it. They just put the amphetamine in the crack and all that inside of the weed. So people are going to these smoke shops and they don't necessarily know what they're buying. They're just smoking it, and then they probably coming back. And so someone is trying to get the youth hooked on this.
Right. This is true. And cause let me tell you, I can even share this info. I buy cartridges at the dispensary, the THC oils.
Right.
I do that still,
Right.
unfortunately. But yo, there was a period that, like, if you're not smoking it, you having withdrawal effects. Like you get sick. Like back in the day, I never experienced that with weed. Like, and now they doing something to the weed as well, where it's like you're getting sick if you don't smoke for 2, 3, 4 days. Like it's like a whole withdrawal. I've gone through it, and I was very, very, very surprised that weed would have me do that.
Right, because your body gets used to it, and anything that your body gets used to is going to be different trying to function without it. So if you're working out with certain substance and then you stop taking the substance, it's going to be a little bit harder because your body is used to it. Just like people who wake up drinking alcohol in the morning, and if they don't drink the alcohol, they're going to have issues. Some people drink the
Mhm.
alcohol and they go out and boots. They can't boot if they don't got the dope or the alcohol in the system. You know what I mean? Nah, I gotta give me a hit. I gotta give me my wake
Right,
up.
right,
Yeah,
right. It's I'm glad you said that because alcohol was something that I lost my father to that. Like
oh
he
man,
popped the
rest.
vessel. He popped the vessel in his brain. from
Mm,
drinking too much, and he couldn't go his day without having a drink, and
right.
damn, even thinking about it, I don't want to get emotional and stuff like that. But as a kid, I used to hate seeing him drink. Right, I used to get mad at
Right.
him. I used to say the meanest things to my own dad because of it. But as I got older and I went through my journey, I became more understanding of his struggle,
Right.
and, and it's just tough because, like I said earlier, a lot of us just tend to push the people that want us to do better. We
Right.
tend to push them away, or in some terms, we lose trust, and then because nobody trusts us, that
Lot of
could
times
be.
we feel helpless. We feel weak. We feel like we can't do anything. We feel like we can't help the person, but we can. If you see something wrong, even at work, the workplace with a employee, right, or a co-worker or something, I feel like observing the person's pattern, right, because as humans, we all have patterns, right. So if you see something that's off, or you see the pattern, get the person some help, because a lot of times we feel like a person got to hit rock bottom in order to help them. When no, that's not the case. We can catch it early on. Angie, baby,
Mm, right. Peace. Much love, Angie, baby. Good having you in the building, in attendance. Good stuff. Good stuff. Angie is in the building. Well, it's just very sad, man, because I'm seeing it too much. I was watching a documentary not too long ago, and it was about the painkillers and the pain management in Florida when they first started. How they were just letting anyone come in and get these pain medicines. They were just giving it away, giving it away, giving it away. Some people needed it, obviously, for pain or whatever accident, whatever the case may be, they needed it. But they told us in the beginning that what was the percentage? That it's less than 2% chance of us being addicted, getting addicted to these pain meds. And they ended up lying to us. Like the media pushed this narrative. It was everywhere that it wasn't an addictive medicine.
right.
Obviously, we see today it's not happening. Never
When
mind
now,
these people.
when you look at the commercials, right? When you look at the commercials on TV, they tell you this drug is good for you, but then they say, well, it can have side effects and addiction, and people still take it, and they're still allowed to sell it. So the pharmaceutical company, it's like the biggest drug dealers, really, because it's all
Yeah,
like a setup,
they
right?
really.
They give you this food and stuff that causes the issues and the ailments, and then they send you right to the drug dealer, and then they send you to the hospital where usually people pass away. So it's all a setup. You know what I mean? I was listening to the young brother, Meek Mills, when he was speaking about how he got addicted, and I think he was saying it to keep him up or something like that. He couldn't sleep, and he said after a while he started paying, somebody to get these pills for him. He started paying them on the low. So you can't. Wow,
Mm,
it'd be easy to get addicted,
yeah.
and
Not only that, you know that today, cause a lot of people are preferring the fake ones over the real ones. Like
absolutely,
people
absolutely,
people want to do the fake ones rather than the real ones. Like, yo, if you're still messing around in the streets and you still doing that thing and you fighting your fight, like it's only a matter of time before it comes to you. Like it's only a matter of time. We're playing Russian roulette. Like it's dangerous. They like to say, yesterday's price is not today's price. I got a
right.
saying that says yesterday's drug is not today's drug. Is completely.
What the drugs from back in the days was way different. Was way different, and it got away from that. Like when you look at opium and all of that, in the beginning, it was pure, and then they got away from that. But yeah, people were getting addicted. And like you said, people prefer the fake pills that out here in the streets, and it's getting younger and younger. The people that's doing it young and young because they think it's cool when they hear the rapper did it. But that's how the psychology of some people are. They want the pill that just killed somebody. They want the dope that just
Mm,
body. They want to go to the party that
right.
just got shot up. You understand what I mean? So,
Right.
it's time that's how people's brains is wired. Yo, somebody
Right.
just died.
Right.
Yo, I gotta go there next week.
You know, there was something going around. I've heard this before though, where that was done intentionally too, where the dealer was giving somebody poison like on purpose, so they could be a goner. Like I don't even like to use that kind of lingo, but they were doing it on purpose to get them out, but it will make the people want some of that, just like what you was just saying. Like,
Right? If they know that the dope killed somebody on Sixth Ave last week, they want that heroin. And that's crazy, but it's true.
mm, like, is it if we're using, if we're an addict, are we being selfish?
If we're addicts, somewhat,
Not you.
some,
I know you. I'm just saying in general. Like, is it a
some,
selfish thing
somewhat,
or?
somewhat, right? Because we're putting the drug before everything, right? And even
Mhm.
when we know that the drug is causing the issue, we still put the drug ahead of. So you got somebody that lost their apartment, lost their house, lost their marriage or whatever, in a shelter, sleeping on somebody's couch, and they're still doing the drug. That means it's a chronic issue at that point.
Mm, it's chronic issues. Well, I don't know. We gotta fight your fight better. Make sure you
Right,
have a huge support system that really works. Being honest and fight. Like,
right,
when you were at it, the fight, or wasn't at it, the fight never stops. The day you think that you overcame it,
right.
no, it's just you gotta go each time. Sorry if I'm fumbling over my words here, cause
No, no, it's all good. I understand what you're saying. You just got to work hard. But the important thing too is to let people know how we feel about them and to really be honest with a person. Because if a person really knew how you felt, like some people feel like they're not loved at all. Look at DMX, right? DMX, we know he dabbled in drugs, and I think he got clean at one time, and then he went back. But he said that his mother never told him that she loved him, and I felt like that was kind of hard,
Mhm.
but if he said it, then I believe him. But we got to let people know that we love them, we care about them. I'm here, and I think that people, because when people know that you're watching them and you care, they're a little bit more, unreckless on how they move. But when people think
Mhm.
that you don't, that nobody gives a damn, then sometimes people would just go crazy. Nobody don't care about me
Mhm.
anyway. You know what I mean?
Right. So, at at what point, if at any point, at what point do we give up on trying to help someone that's struggling with it, or do you have to remain there for them? And
Um, I,
there's no right or wrong answer. It's just all perspective. I just.
I, No, I say we never give up on the people that we love. We never give up on them, but it does come a point where we have to seek professional help for them, right? Because we're not professionals, so sometimes we can chase the person away, whatever. So I say always seek professional help for the person. That's really caring. Sometimes we got to step out the way and get them professional help. Maybe a hotline. Maybe in this chat we could put a or in the description we could put a hotline in the description, right? Because people
I
are going
wa-
to
I
be
was
coming.
trying to do that. I was trying to do that too, cause I definitely will do that after this.
It's helpful. That's letting people know that we care. That you care, and it's help out here. It's help. It's help.
Mhm. Right. It's a lot of help, but you gotta want to help yourself too, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A lot of us are comfortable and we do what we do. A lot of us are comfortable, right? A lot of us are comfortable, and we think we got it under control. We think that the habit is under control. We're not. What's that?
Now I said salute to the brother open minded. He said you can't fight for the addict if they don't want to fight for themselves. And yeah, and that's the issue. A lot of times we're trying to
Right.
fight for them, we make it worse, right? Because
Hmm.
sometimes the person's nerve and they be like, yo, I gotta go out and get me a hit. They're gonna always blame it. on you. So that's why I'm saying professional help. But if the person don't want help, it's really nothing anyone can do, at that
Right.
point.
Even if like
Angie baby.
what she said,
She says
I'm
she's
gonna
an addict to coffee. She's working on it. And
I drink coffee a lot myself.
it's just by limiting it, because the body can get addicted to the certain hormones and the certain chemicals in the brain. So you just limit it. If you drink it every day, then just try to drink it every other day or something like that. But it's about acknowledging the problem too, or the issue, right? Because if we don't think anything is wrong, we'll never get help.
Right. We never get help. You have to recognize the issue, attack it, and go. Like the idea
Beat,
of it too
beat
is
yourself up for it either, because if you beat yourself up, you feel worse about yourself, and then you play this picture in your head that. So I mean, we all got vices. Remember that. I don't if it's shopping, whatever. We all got certain
food,
vices.
ice cream, right? Some kind of it. Some kind of it.
Right.
It's just like when you did it is to go an excessive a long period of time without doing it. And keep working on it. You fall down, you slip up, get up
Mhm.
tomorrow, start over, start your sobriety all over again. Like keep on. But a lot of times we relapse and then we feel guilty from relapsing, so we continue to keep going down that road. So it's like no, snap out of it, snap out of it. But a
Right.
lot of us give up.
That's true. That's true. And I was just gonna say one of the big issues is a lot of times we're worried about what other people think of us. You understand? Some people might think we're a failure. Some people might think this. So, we gotta love people and we gotta show them that we're here for them in whatever type of way. Because everybody got different family members. You only know your
Mm,
family member the best, and some family know each other better. So you gotta
right.
get people observe. If you see something different in a pattern, then speak to them. But some people get offended when you pull a coat to certain things. So I say,
Right.
just use your
But
own judgment.
we often do that
Right.
even if they're doing good. We're
Mm,
often
right.
because we're so worried or we've been down that road before. Yeah, I'm turning off my
Right.
I turned off the camera because I didn't want to smoke on camera.
Okay. Okay.
Just so you
Respect.
know, just so you know, just so you know, I do.
Okay. I know it was glitching or whatever, but no. But you're right.
Nah,
You're right.
it's like keeping. You feel like yo, they watching me. It's like I can't do nothing. I'm guilty. It's like yo, you get accused of doing it even when you're not doing it, and that's something tough to deal with within. Like so, you just give up and say, yo, if
You
they
got
accusing me of doing it,
the root of it.
right?
Get
I
down to
mean,
the
I
issue.
like.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. You good. Get down to the
Get
root of it.
root or the issue of to why the person even got addicted anyway, or how did they get into drugs. It could be several reasons. Some people after a bad breakup, death in the family, certain traumas. So it's about getting them, like I said, seeking that professional help and getting to the root of the problem. It's not about blaming a person. It's not about making them feel bad for their behavior, but it's about getting to the root of it. And the only way we get to that is by communication. You know what I mean?
Right. Get to the root of it and stay strong. Stay strong
Right.
and focused and determined. He said, "Well, you're
Absolutely.
smoking." We talk about addiction, and I'm over here talking about bud too, right? But we talk about the hardest stuff. But this is what I'm talking from way,
But they
from
got the
way.
kids now that's that help with certain things like depression, certain ailments. So
Hmm.
that's why we talked about earlier. People got to know what they're getting themselves to, because that stuff that's in the smoke shop, that's if anything is probably doing damage to you. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Much more, much more.
Look, give me a
And
second. Let
even
me this
no,
clock.
you
Let me
good, you
turn.
good, you good. That's what we was talking about. open minded, brother, open minded. That was a tough time, and like my parents dealt with that. Like I am a product of that '80s, and I remember it, and it just took over. There was a saying where like people were being called functional alcoholics or functional crackheads. Like
Right.
that doesn't make it okay. Like it really doesn't. It doesn't make it okay. Like it's a tough battle. It's expensive. You're risking your life. People love you. People need you. Like
You be putting your family through a lot of different issues and things like that. But like we were saying earlier, when we was on the phone, addiction could be many things. You got some people that's addicted to food, some people that's addicted to shopping, some people addicted to different things. So, but like I said, it's about getting to the root of the problem,
mhm.
and when it
And getting
happened,
better.
trying to catch it early as possible. If you could catch it early as possible,
Recognizing. Identifying triggers is a major key, a major element in recovery. Identifying the triggers, what triggers,
right.
and a lot of times we're we're
Yeah, that's
we're dealing we're dealing with issues that overwhelm us. Like
yeah.
everybody isn't as strong mentally as some of us are. Like some of
I
us
agree.
are very weak, easily influenced by others, and like
Right.
it's for even me when I was younger, I was hanging out with people that was into the pills, and I was just
Hmm.
like, hey, fuck it, let me try one. I
That's
did it,
usually how.
next thing it became an everyday thing where like I was looking for excuses to get a pill, to buy a pill, like, and
Right.
it caused a lot of damage, like in my
Yeah.
life, like a lot. But thank thank God that
You
I
hear right
managed
now,
to get
you know, healthy,
right,
spiritual,
right,
all of that.
right. Like the people around me, like my why I want to be better. Why? Because I have kids that I want to be there for. My wife, my mom, both my mothers. Like I need to be
Yeah.
productive for them. I don't want to be that person I was, that bipolar attitude. One minute you
Right.
happy, one minute you sad. And I don't know. I watch YouTube, and it's clear that a lot of people have issues, bro. A lot of us have these issues. Y'all could
Yeah.
y'all could hide it whatever way y'all want, but it's obvious because I've been around the block, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that have been around the block
So,
that
so
know.
you know what? Just that's a confirmation, right? I remember when this YouTuber, salute to this brother, was beefing with Casanova. He was going back and forth with Casanova, and he said that normally he wouldn't even came out like that, but he was drinking some Hennessy. And I was like, yo, at least the brother was honest. But like you said, people can tell by the patterns and the different behavior. Like some people come on nice, then some days they come on beefing, stuff like that, or going crazy. But a lot of people think that people don't care, right? Because sometimes people egg it on. You know what I'm saying? So we're here just to let people know you got help. We're gonna put the hotline and everything in the description box. Share this video, spread the word, and situate. I mean, topics like this we need to speak about more. You know what I'm saying? Because it
Mhm.
definitely in our community. Big time.
Now, when you say there's a lot of help out there, right? What happens is that a lot of us, and I say us a lot because I'm not
Right.
excluding myself, but
No doubt.
we tend to not even have health insurance, or we don't care to apply for it, so we get stuck in the streets in the cycle and trying to. It's important to have your health insurance. Like
Check.
I, I, I
Crazy, brother. What's crazy? People won't have health insurance for themselves, right? I think now as low as $5 a month or something like that, but they will have insurance on their phone or their TV. So it's not that people don't have the money. I don't think that people don't have the money. It's just that some people are just lazy or they don't care. But how can you have the warranty on your flat screen TV, your cell phone, your this, your that, and you don't got no life insurance even for your children? So that's the priorities kind of mixed up. You know what I mean?
So the priorities are messed up. Priorities are and it's important. Like you don't want to. At a young age, I was reckless with all that important documents that we needed, insurance. I was all reckless. I didn't care. So
Mhm.
and there was nobody in my ear to push me to care. It was something that I needed to snap out of and get everything together. And the the more I tried, the better I did. It's like everything just falls right back in place. Because when you're going down that slippery slope, everything's going wrong. It's a domino effect. One thing go wrong, one thing go wrong, one thing go wrong. It's just you think it's just some bad luck. No, you're doing it. You're causing this to yourself with the choices that
Right.
you're making. You got to make better decisions. That these
Right.
decisions don't only impact you; it impacts people around you.
The community, your community, your immediate community, meaning your household. And you could tell when people are off the drugs, right? Look at the brother, what's his name? Moneybag Yo. Look at the brother. He got off the drugs, man. The brother looked good. You know what I'm saying? Looked like he, changed his diet. He was talking about, and he was talking about, being around certain people. And now he wants to be, alone, and he want to do his thing. You get off the drugs, your whole life changes because now your mind is more clear, see things differently. You know what I mean? Because
Mm,
remember,
clear,
brain is
right?
the eyes. You know what I mean?
Then that's when we make a lot of irrational decisions too. Is we're usually under the influence of something. We're thinking
Right.
recklessly. We're not thinking straight. You know what I mean? And then it's an escape. It's an escape from reality. But today it's just I'm
And
seeing
it's
it too much.
It's an escape
And it,
mechanism, and even with the internet, right? When I was talking about detaching from certain technology and the internet, even that becomes addictive, right? Because a lot of times you think about, when you started smoking weed and doing certain things, it's because we didn't want to embrace the boredom. We was bored, but if you embrace that boredom, then you can do other things around the house, around other things that you was neglecting. So a lot of it has to do with us being bored with our lives and not being happy with our lives. But once you detach from those certain things, you like, wow. Some people that they stopped drinking or whatever years ago, they can't stop telling you how great they feel about themselves. You know what I mean? With the
and you can
with
see the appearance looks great. They look so much healthier. People look so
yes,
much clearer, so much like nicer. It's you look beautiful. You look beautiful
right.
at your very best, man.
Got their energy right because when you're doing all those drugs, right? Anything that you take that's not giving you nutrients, it got to take away nutrients, right? So when you're doing these drugs, it's zapping the vitamins, the minerals, the zinc, all of that out of your body. So this is why people feel tired, even when you eat certain foods. And you talk about I got the itis, right? We know niggeritis. That's a racist word anyway, but is zap is taking something from you. So you only should be putting something that's giving you something in your body. Now we all like
Mm,
certain things as long as you don't indulge in it, right? Some people complain about coffee, this, that, sugar, but as long as you don't indulge in it, then it's not really an issue. But you should be putting more things in your body that's giving you energy, that's giving you life. So when you eat food, you should never be tired after eating food. You should never be tired. You should feel energized after eating food.
it's like drinking all night and then waking up with a hangover. It's like
Right?
you don't want that
And what
effect. It's
and
like
what
you
hangover? A
said with
hangover,
food as well.
a hangover is dehydration. It's taking all of the nutrients and all of the water, everything is sucking it right out of your body. So when we have a hangover, it's really dehydration of the brain.
Mm. Devin, what you mean about that joint is a stereotype? Can you elaborate?
Right? You got the natural cannabis, and then you got this altered stuff that they're selling now with the altered seeds. So you might be buying the seeds, but the seeds is altered. You know what I mean? You always got something that's original tobacco, original coffee, all of that. You got original, and then you got the altered version. That's what the brother might be speaking about.
Yeah, I think he was just having a dialogue with Angie baby. So it's like,
Yeah,
cause I guess some people really need the bud to go to sleep, or for anxiety and like.
yeah, you got the cannabis now. You got the cannabis that helps people with depression and certain things. So you got the good and then you got the bad, but it depends on what you're using it for. Depends on what you're using it for. You know what I mean? Because I smoke, but I'll go straight to sleep. If I got problems sleeping, yeah, I'll smoke it and go to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's
it used to be
use it.
tough for me to go
Don't
to
allow
sleep, but
it to you.
that's
With
mainly
anything,
why I smoke.
that's with anything in life. You use it and don't allow it to use you. Everything in life
Mm,
should be working for you, not working against you. So if you're smoking or you're drinking and it's coming in between your life and your work and your marriage, then you got to give it up. You know what I'm saying?
right, right. We shouldn't allow any substance or anything to have a stronghold. Like we shouldn't be dependent on it to a maximum level. Like you
Right.
shouldn't wake up feeling like you can't do this if you don't do this. So even like rappers creating music these days, a lot of them think that they need to be under the influence of
Yeah. Arrest
something to make
to
good
old
music.
when he stopped getting high, it's like they said his music didn't hit like that. When I seen people on social media saying, "Yo, he need to get high again. He need to make that music." So some people, so he probably thought his music wasn't hitting like that when he was sober. So the brother started getting high again, and we seen what happened, man. So you know,
Mm, I think I froze. You can see me, Cos?
no, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
I'm frozen. Did I freeze? I
I
think I
can't see you at all.
froze.
Maybe the audience. Can you guys see brother Kumba? But yeah, that's but this stuff that's out here now, like from the smoke shops and all of that, it's no good. It's no good.
No, it's tough, man, and I just could relate to people. Like I don't want us to neglect our loved ones and turn
Right.
our backs on them when they dealing with this. Um, there's a lot of different obstacles that occur in this process, like perhaps them
Right.
stealing from you, or
Yeah.
even from people you might know. It's like you try to separate. Oh, they messed up real bad. They messed up real bad. So you don't want to. I guess you're gonna try to have to find a way to help them from a distance.
Sometimes that's the best way to help people from afar. Sometimes that's the best way because
Mm,
things get physical, man. Things that get physical, arguments break out, fights break out. So, sometimes it's best to help people how you feel suited, man. And sometimes from afar is better. But like we said, give them a hotline, get them some help. Now you can call, have people check on people at the house. So you just gotta
welfare
get
check, right?
strategic. You know what I mean?
Right, 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 right. Keep helping our loved ones, man. Cause have you? Is there people that may have been close to you that have gone through these things that you had to help, or maybe distant yourself from? Like you don't gotta say no names and not like that. Put people on blast like that.
Right,
Just
right.
your
Oh no,
experience, your
um,
experience with dealing with people.
family members, family members, with friends, growing up, and you don't know because we like, wow, we're young. But then when you find out a friend that you might have went to junior high or high school with is getting high, sometimes it's like you're in denial, right? Because you don't want to believe that. You never seen the person do it, but it's definitely has happened, and I have witnessed it. Right, one time I was chilling with my little man. Rest in peace. His name was Billy. Man, he was from over there by Clay Avenue in the Bronx, right? And he had a lot of
Mm,
respect. And sometimes I used to take him to work with me when I was working building management, right? And I seen the brother sniff, and I think he was already high, and maybe I don't think he noticed it, but I seen the brother sniff a line of cocaine, and he immediately said, "Oh man, I'm sorry." So I think he just didn't notice, you know what I mean? And I was like, "Wow." So I have seen it firsthand, and it's really crazy. It's really crazy. I seen the brother turn into a dope fiend out in the street with a needle in his arm before he lost his life, man. So yeah, I have seen it firsthand. and it
Mhm.
puzzles you because you really want to help the person, but then sometimes you feel like your help is going on deaf ears because sometimes you're trying to help the person and then they're sneaking and dodging, and then if they get with a
Right, right.
woman getting high, it could be hard, man. Yeah, Clay
Even
Avenue
when
and
you when
yes,
you
sir.
when you yourself when you
Now I was gonna ask the brother Delvin. I don't know if he knew the brother Billy Guns, little brother Billy Guns, man. He lost his life last year, man, on College Avenue, man.
mm, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. It's we're seeing it on YouTube too often, where like every so often we're losing somebody, we're losing
Yes,
somebody, we're losing somebody, like, and it's like I don't know. I have this. It hits home for me for real. Like
right,
um,
right. Because
I
sometimes
could relate.
feel concerned. You know what I mean? Sometimes we feel the blame. Sometimes a parent could feel like, hey, I wasn't a good enough mother, I wasn't a good enough brother, I wasn't a good enough father. So sometimes, we feel it also. If I was a better friend to this person, you know what I mean?
Right, right. But even as yourself, say if you've been
Yes,
recovered and you've been sober for a long time, and then you want to
right,
go and help somebody stay sober, that could be a trigger for yourself. That could cause you to
right,
relapse because you're constantly trying to help somebody that's on this road. And like I said,
absolutely.
not everybody has that strong mind to just say no. Like a lot of us
Mm.
are very gullible. It's like, oh, okay, I'll just do it this one time. I'll be good tomorrow. And then it just becomes a pattern and a pattern, and you're going over and over, and you repeating the same cycle over and over.
Right.
I don't like that this is off though.
Huh?
I don't like that it's off. Like I should be on the screen with you, Cos.
Yeah, they say they can't see you. Maybe you press something, but we don't want it to turn off completely. But no,
No,
you're right.
I got.
Because you got a lot. I seen a lot of brothers fall victim to drugs because they got with a woman that was doing drugs, and they didn't want the woman to go out and get the drugs from other dealers. So next thing you know, they start drinking in the house with the woman and fall victim. So it does happen. You know what I mean? It does happen like that.
Mm, right. It does. It's like it's tough balance. It's tough, but individually as yourself, you gotta really put in the work to get better, and
Right.
then the people around you, they add on to that, because us as the ones that want to help, it could become draining when you're not reciprocating this help. You're pushing
Absolutely.
it off. You're neglecting it. And I was like, you're wasting my time and your time. So it's like it's a
Right.
balance. It needs help from all sorts of directions. It has to come, but you, most importantly yourself, have to be
Right.
committed to getting better,
Yeah.
and
I
everything
remember.
will fall in place.
Right. And this is when they had, of course, the marijuana was different. They had the blue bags, they had the Princess Black. So we would go get the weed before we went to school. This is when you get the cab. The cab was like $20 for an hour, right? So we get the cab and we'll go up to Rockaway Boulevard and 142nd Street, and we'll go get the blue bag, or we'll go to Sufton and 121 and get the Princess Black and all of that, right? And we wasn't going to school after you smoked that. We fall asleep in the cab. But the first time I stopped smoking weed was in 1998. I remember the year like it was yesterday. And maybe I probably went back to smoke maybe like 3 times since then, and then I stopped. But I really didn't have a problem with stopping. Like that wasn't like a problem. It's just sometimes being around certain people and I'm bored, so I would smoke. But I never had a problem with really stopping. But yeah, 1998, I had stopped for like
Mhm.
maybe like 10 years. And then smoking maybe for a couple of months, and then I stopped. So the last time I smoked marijuana probably was like 8 months ago, 8 months ago. And so it's all in moderation. You know what I mean?
Right, right. I remember when I was in junior high school.
Right.
I used to have a friend, and he used to bring marijuana to school, and I
Mhm.
used to not smoke. But there was this one time, the first time I smoked, and it made
Yeah.
me like I was so sad afterwards that I smoked. I got depressed. Like man.
Wow.
I felt guilty. Why did I do this? Why did I do that? Like, why did I didn't like the feeling of it at all, at all. But we was way young. We had to be like 15 years old, like smoking bud like hell. Like, woo. Nah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it when I was young. Obviously,
Cats
when I
back.
got older, what's that?
No, no, I was saying Delvin had made a comment about the cabs back in the days. Yeah, you give them $20 for an hour, and we used to ride around like crazy. But I remember my first smoking. First time I ever smoked was with my man. His name was Kimonti, right? And he was down with the rap group called Queens Most Wanted. There was like a little spinoff from like the Lost Boys, and we went to his house, and he went, and that they had the little teeny nickel bags of weed. It was this spot called Baby Beans, and it was a Jamaican restaurant on 111th Avenue and I think 127th Street. And we went back to his house and smoked. And I tried to get up, and I think I fell, man. I tried to get up, and
Mm,
and then it was like every day. He was smoking every day. You know what I mean? His mom's getting money,
wow.
get a nickel or
Cause
something.
it's
Huh?
crazy. It's crazy. It's wild that you say that because when I first started dealing with bud, I've had
Right.
experiences where like I literally like fainted,
Mm,
like, and I became the butt of the joke. People was like, man,
okay.
all I gotta do to kick your butt is smoke a blunt with you. You gonna pass out. It was like a
Right.
joke for me. It's like I would never forget that falling on my face in the rain, like. And this was like years ago. Years ago, I was under 20 at that time. Shit, I don't even think I was 18 for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the
And then
first time I
even
think I might have been I think I was like 15. I think I was maybe about like 15 years old.
well, oh, one time I got home to my house and I walked in the door and my mom just bow, she just punched me in the face real quick. She's like, "You
Wow.
want to smoke weed? You want to smoke weed, huh?" Bow, she dinged me up. I was like, I wasn't even smoking weed, but my neighbor, I guess, told her she saw me smoking weed at the basketball court. I was not smoking weed, but after that ass whipping, I said I might as well go smoke some weed.
Right. Yeah. It
Mm.
was yeah, I could you know what too, to be honest, like I used to be a little bit embarrassed, right? Because in my neighborhood, like I got a big family, right? So I'm always seeing somebody driving down the block or somebody be like, come in, get in the car. So one day it was my grandmother, she was going to bingo, right? They had the bingo was that's like by Atlantic Avenue, and I think like 120th and Atlantic or something, right? So she told me to get in, and I got in, man. And I'm telling you, I was smelling like so much weed, man. I felt embarrassed, like yo. Then I can't walk around with a bottle of cologne. So I'm like, oh man, I gotta stop this because at any given time I could see one of my relatives and they like, yo, get in the car real quick or do this or do that. And I'm smelling like weed, like that's embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Mm, right, right. It's
My
very.
grandma, like, she would say you've been smoking that shit. So it sounds even worse. Smoking weed. She said, oh, you've been smoking that shit. So it just sounds crazy. You know what I mean?
It does, cause it does sound crazy. It's
Right.
today. It's like my brother used to be guilty of that, of smelling like bud all the time. Like even
Yeah.
if he didn't smoke, he still smelled like it. Like, and that's the reason why I use the cartridges because of the smell. I don't want to
Right.
leave the smell around. I don't want to leave the smell around. Like I don't want my kid to even smell this and none of that. Like I don't do it around my kid and none of that. Like a lot of us, our parents was doing these things in front of our face at a very young age too. Like I've witnessed these things. I don't know about everybody else, but I've witnessed these.
I was in the park the other day and I seen they was drinking beer and rolling up while the little kid was in between. I guess that was their parents was in between them and while they rolling up, man. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Listening to that crazy music. And I remember when I used to drink beers, right? Like my son was totally naive to it. Like I could walk the block drinking a beer as long as I had in the bag. But with my daughter, she was like a little bit wiser and she didn't like it at all. My daughter didn't like it at all. And one day I
Mm,
was in the store and I was buying a beer, right? And Poppy heard what my daughter said, and the way he looked at me, I was like, wow, man. This, then I knew I had to stop. You know what I'm saying? Because my daughter didn't like it, right? She would like every time I drink a beer, she would like have like a face like she was about to cry. So I said, you know,
Uh-huh.
I got to stop this. I got to stop this.
That's how I was with my pops, cause that's how it was with my pops. It's like I used to catch tantrums, cry and whatnot. Then it got to the point I'm 15 years old. At 15 years old, cause I'm like,
Right.
well, if if I'm gonna go home and he's drunk, then I'm gonna be drunk too. So at 15, 16 years old, I'm picking up a bottle myself. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
And it's wild. Like I don't drink no more. Maybe once in the blue, I might have a beer, but it's been a while now, and I have had my issues with that too in the past.
Right.
But I, knowing that I lost my dad to the alcohol, it's a huge help. It's a huge help to keep me away from it. Like it's a
Right.
discipline. Even with the other things, it's like losing people to it is what helped me
I'm
stay away
glad that
from these things.
you, I'm glad that you found the strength, to stop that because a lot of us don't, man. And like I knew this one brother, he stopped drinking, and the doctor told him that he wouldn't have that longer to live. Right? It was this brother. I forgot. I think his name was Calvin, but he used to stand in front of the liquor store on Tremont Avenue. I think that was Tremont and Webster or something like that. Right? Right. It's a Burger King there now, I think, right there. And he stopped drinking. He looked it good. He looked it good. He stopped drinking and everything. And like 2 months later, man, the brother was gone. Rest in peace, man.
I've even witnessed as a kid. We used to walk on. I want to say it's like one Boston Road and 170th Street in the Bronx,
Oh,
and there used to be a spot called Three Patties, and they
mm,
so people used to go there to get their bud, and
okay.
my mom will get caught every so often by the cops and will get arrested. With us walking with her, like we would never go in the store with her. We would wait outside, obviously. Thank goodness my sister was old enough to hold us down. But even my mom getting bagged. Like, sorry, mom, if you're watching and you seeing this, my bad. I don't mean to put your business,
Right,
but
right.
you come a long way too, my mom. But seeing
That's
this
a
on the regular too, every time it'd be like the big old NYPD van would just pull up on you. It's like, yo,
right.
lucky D. I don't know what they call it in New York. I forgot. Is it BCW? Is that what it is? The Child Services?
It's ACS now. BCW back then. I think it's ACS now. Yeah, Delvin. Yeah, Delvin said, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, right there. It was a short brother. I forgot. I think his name was Calvin, and yeah, he passed away. But that was crazy. And then you know what happens is just somebody else just replaces him, and yeah,
It's a battle that never ends, man. It's like I said, you gotta. Every day is a challenge. Every day is a challenge. Recovery is not temporary. It's permanently. You're permanently recovering. As long as you remember that, you'll be alright. Like only one person can judge. We know who that is. So if you happen to relapse, not that it's okay, but it's okay. Get up
and
tomorrow and start over.
stations like this keeps people on point. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, some people don't. They think people don't care, but people really do care. But they think people don't care.
Right. I care a lot, man, and this topic
Hmm.
hits home tremendously. Like too many people around have fallen victim and have been stuck in a stronghold. And
Right.
I heard someone say about is it selfish, and I guess it could be. Like speaking, it helped me understand of how people can call that being selfish, because I couldn't call it selfish because of my experiences. It's just the trauma and it having a stronghold on you. It's like, you know,
Right. Right.
there's
A lot
people
of
out there.
the people we let down. We don't think about the people
Mm,
who depend on us. Right. We got some people got families that depend on them. Children who look up to them, nephews, nieces. So we don't really worry about that. We're just saying, you know what? I'm gonna get high. They just indulge. So yes, that is being selfish to a certain extent. Yes, to a great extent.
mm, right. And we all can fall. We all can fall victim to this, and but just do give it your best, man. Just fight. Don't
Right.
be reckless. Don't give up. Like keep fighting your fight. Like if you're on the slump, if you're spiral out of control, what they call it, like if you're on a binge, get
Hmm.
over that binge and start over. Don't stay stuck there. Don't let that because you feel like you disappointed people. Don't let that become a trigger for you. Keep
Absolutely.
fighting your fight. I will definitely put um a few numbers in the description when I get a chance that can
Oh
help
yeah.
hotline numbers or whatever. Any of you guys know or have any information, please feel free to put it in the chat as well. You
Yeah, I
know,
think they got a worldwide number. Then they got like a number. Well, they got places you can call, and then whatever borough you in, they'll probably direct you to there.
and if you go, and I don't want to make this a race thing, but if you go to the white people neighborhoods, you're not seeing liquor stores on every corner. You're not seeing this. This is getting thrown at us everywhere. You can't like every 5 stores is a freaking liquor store or a weed spot these days. Like it's
They got
not
the
like that.
cheap alcohol, and it's so deep. Like you said, it's so deep now in the hood. You can get the marijuana on the food stamp card, so it's making it easier for people. Where people are neglecting eating, and they getting the and I don't. I think that should that. Come on, if I owned this store, I wouldn't even do that, man. Eat, feed your kids, and if you gotta if you gotta purchase the weed on the food stamp card, that means you don't need it because you can't afford
You
it
don't
really.
need it. Right, right, right. That was an issue. That was an issue where I live at in my city that a lot of people with EBT cards, they were using them at the bar and the club. And
That's
and I know, right? And I guess that they shut it down real fast. They made it like impossible for you to even be able to do that anymore. But imagine that, yo. How many people are selling their food stamps, yo? Like
you.
I'm big on that. Like I catch people selling food stamps all day long. I'm trying to buy them because food is expensive. You
Right,
selling food? Like I
right.
don't want to take away from you. You really should be using that to buy some food for you and your kids, maybe. But food is expensive, yo, and people will sell that and like nah. The priorities are way off,
And
way off, way off.
telling you, I was going to Barnes and Nobles the other day, right? So I got to cross the public assistance building right there on 14th Street, right? So I was out there talking to somebody, and I never seen that many people of all nationalities coming out of that building. I seen Jewish people, I seen white people, I seen blacks, I seen Dominicans, all types of people coming out of there. So that just lets you know the struggle. And most of them, a lot of
Right
people
for
come
everybody.
pants sagging. One dude fell asleep, man, while pushing his baby, man. Can you believe that? Had a whole bunch of
Hmm.
tattoos, face and stuff. Looked like he was like high. He fell asleep pushing his baby in the stroller.
Mm. It's like it has no these days. Like it's times is hard. Times are getting hard. They're making things so much more expensive, and you know how
And people,
much pressure that
people are
could put on a.
self-medicating.
What's that?
No, I said, and people they're going through trauma, so people are self-medicating, right? They'll go buy a
Right,
beer.
right. That's exactly what I'm about to say. Like it's
Mhm.
the trauma itself is causing us. Like, damn, I can't provide for my family. That's a trigger that gets a man that messes with a man's pride, his dignity.
Yeah,
Like when you can't provide for your family, so we turn to substances to just numb it out temporary again.
yeah.
Mm,
Like it's
it
some
is
type of magic pill or some type of magic thing or whatever. Like it'll get better, but whenever you numb something, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just like sweeping dust under the rug. It just piles up and piles.
mm,
It don't go nowhere.
talk about it. Right, right, right. It gets worse. It gets
It
worse.
gets
It's
worse.
like when you snap out of it, you start thinking more, and then it goes. That's how that cycle gets repeated over and over. It's like you try to. Oh, yeah, I get
And
goosebumps talking about it because I can relate, man. I
no,
know, I know.
these are topics. These are the topics that got to be brought out more because a lot of topics that other people are scared to speak about, we could be the voice for it, right? Now, you gotta think a lot of people are not really good with challenges in life. Some
Mm,
people look at challenges. Some people look at it like, yeah, give me another challenge. But some people, when a challenge or a bump comes in the road, they automatically feel like it's some type of punishment, some type of this. So they don't know how to deal with it. But when you learn to deal with life's challenges, that's how you get better at life. You understand?
mm, right. Like bring it, just bring it. I want all the smoke. Bring it now. Get it all out the way. It's like that's the attitude, the spirit that I had. Like if things are going wrong, fuck, bring it all. Let's get this all
Right.
out the way now. Bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it. I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel, so it's okay. I'm walking with God. He got me.
Yep,
As long as I'm doing my part and giving it my
absolutely.
best, that's all that really matters. As long as you giving it your best, that's what matters. It's like it's
Right.
tough.
Right.
It's tough.
Right, and that and a lot of people worried about they're worrying about everything. Worrying about what people think of them. I was talking to a brother yesterday, and I really respect his brother, elder brother, and he told me he said a lot of people are worried about being looked at as a good person instead of just being a good person. Like you said, just
Right.
playing your part. Like King Delvin said, just your part, just being. You don't want to.
Mm,
Everybody want to be looked at as I'm this, I'm that. Just be, just do it. A lot of times
right.
when you help people out in private and just do it, sometimes that's the best way because sometimes people they feel like they're being put on blast. They don't want the help. They might deny the help on purpose. So I just say, just do, like you said, just play your part. Everybody play a small little part. I said before, every brick in the building matters. No matter where you're at in the building, every brick matters. You know what I mean?
Every brick matters. That is true. That is true, man. It's like overwhelming. It's like a lot of times we sad about what already happened, or we worried about the uncertainty in the future,
Mhm.
that we don't even allow ourselves to enjoy the moment because we sad about the past or worried about the future and the uncertainty.
Right.
Like,
It robs us. It robs us of life, of living life. This is why certain people, a lot of people, are not really living life. They're just existing here on planet Earth. They're not really living life. Living life, like the brother said, is when you're helping others, when you're caring for
mm,
others. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't got any children, you could just do for your little cousin or something. Just doing and giving people that opportunity and letting them know that you love them. It makes a difference when you let people know how you feel, especially when it's positive. It makes a difference. We might not think it does, but telling people you love them, giving them a text, how you doing, how you feeling. Sometimes people just be waiting for that text. Just some people just want to express themselves. That's all. You're just giving them an
mm.
opportunity to express themselves. You know what I mean? Some people
It's
just
like
need a
I had to die so I could live.
mm,
Like
right,
I had to die. I had to hit rock bottom and go through all them obstacles, but overcome it and live your best life to the best. It's like
right,
the person I was, and the person I am today. And I'm sure all of us are not the same person we were years ago. Like we've grown, we've matured, but I was at a young age, I was very reckless. I was caught up in the streets real bad, and that
mhm,
person that I was had to die so I could live.
that's right, that's right. And just be proud of yourself or who you are now, right? This is why I always say I don't think anything is like totally, totally bad because if it was, it wouldn't have made us the beautiful person that we are today. So you can look at those things and you can say, wow, I'm kind of proud that some of those things did happen to me to make me into this beautiful person I am today.
Mm. Delvin said, we start a lot of our problems. This is true. We tend to start a lot of our problems, and we try to cover up these problems, and we make our problems worse. It's like lying. You know what I mean? You say one lie, then down the road you gotta you gotta cover up that lie, so you gotta come up with another lie, and it's a repetitive cycle. It's like
Right,
insanity, insanity, insanity. You're doing the same old things, expecting a different result. It's not. You
right.
got to change. You know,
I agree. This
with
is
with
why,
change comes change. With change comes change. You want change, you got to change.
right, right. Because your world is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So when you see people's world is out of control, a lot of times that's how they think of themselves. But what's deeper than that, a lot of people start acting the way that they feel others look at them. So this is why it's important to always love yourself and not really worry too much about what others think. It doesn't really matter anyway, because some people don't care if you fail, they don't care if you live, they just don't care. You know what I mean? So it doesn't amount to anything by thinking about what people care or right? So like I said, man, once we start taking on the challenges in life and we really stick our chest out and we start speaking about these things and being honest. Honesty, like I said, I'm not telling anyone to tell people their whole life story or tell people where they got the bodies dug or whatever. But honesty is good. When you're honest with people, it brings out something in you. Being honest, just being honest. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
And
It's the
people
best
realize,
thing. It's always clarity when being honest. Like it's a key. You don't when you speak the truth, it's easy to remember. The lies is what's hard to remember. It's like, oh, what did I say? What was my excuse? I forgot. No, so if you speaking the truth, if you constantly speaking the truth, you're
right?
never gonna you're not gonna fumble. You're not gonna lose your lose your train of thought. Like you're speaking
Right.
truth. You're speaking truth. It's
Also, it builds your confidence, right? When you tell the truth, it builds your confidence. No matter who you might, anger, you're not trying to do it on purpose. But when you're honest, it builds your confidence because when you lie, nobody feels good when they lie, right? Nobody feels good. You feel like a chump. You feel like a sucker. I remember I had took a plea one time in Queens Boulevard, and I'm sitting there lying to the judge, and he's asking me, are you lying? Did anybody promise you a deal? And I'm sitting there lying to this guy, but I wouldn't lie to somebody else. But I'm sitting there lying to him, and that, you don't feel good. You feel like a sucker. You know what I mean?
mm, right. You do. Is it an, often people lie to not hurt somebody's feelings.
Right.
Is that justifiable in your eyes, cause?
Well, in Islam, they say you can lie like to save a person's life, right? But when you lie because you don't want to offend somebody, then that's a fear, right? Because we know that people only do things for two reasons, from the heart or from the ego, right? And that's a fear. You fear not to upset that person. You fear that that person might not like you. You fear that they might not want to fuck with you no more. So that's a fear. You know what I mean? And you're not helping that person and you're not helping yourself by lying. You know what I mean? So it's
Mm,
always good to be honest. Always good. Even if you feel like the person ain't gonna rock with you no more, at least you was honest because when they go back 10 years, 5 years and look at that, they're gonna say, wow, man, that was one of the only people that was truly honest to me. I didn't understand what they were saying at that time, but the person will respect it. They will respect it. You know what I mean?
that's a part of growth too, man. Being honest. Like you can lie
They
to
say
everyone in the world, but you can't lie to the universe. You can't lie to God. Like be ah.
honest, honesty is the best policy, man. Like they say,
Mm.
honesty is policy.
Like if I have to ask a question and I think you're gonna lie to me, I'm not even gonna ask the question because I don't want you to lie to me. So I'm gonna just let it go.
Right, because a lot of times we already know the answer. A lot of times we just try to fool ourselves, or sometimes by doing that,
Mm.
but a lot of
Bars.
to things.
Right, right, right. Bars, man. Thank you, Devin, for loving this show. I love this show too, man. I love doing work with Cos.
One of the best to me. One of the best.
I like it. I like it. We have these conversations behind the scenes and often like I be even to today I be stuck in my ways. But a lot of times that I have a conversation with you, you always open up, like you give me a different understanding, and it's like,
Right.
oh, I could see it that way, or I could understand what you're
Yeah.
saying now. Like the selfish comment, is addiction selfish?
Hmm.
I personally don't think that that's a fair take on it. But hearing your
Right.
perspective, yes, it makes sense what you're saying. But
Right.
me me being who I am and the experience I have is I understand the, and not to use it as an excuse, but it had a stronghold on me. I'm sure it has or had strongholds on a lot of people out there. It
Right. Because, like you said, a lot of it is mental because we start thinking that we need this drug, right? To be cool, to be fly, to be around the girls. We think we need this after a while, right? Like in the movie, Malcolm X said to hang out, to be with the gangsters, he had to take a bump or cocaine to be out there with Bumpy Johnson and all them dudes. So a lot of times, dudes, they not really crazy or nothing, but dudes be out there high and drunk out of their mind so they can feel comfortable around these people in the street. And what happens is it becomes a routine. So now you wake up, you got to have the booze, you got to have the liquor. I seen a young brother about 8 o'clock in the morning on Southern Boulevard. I was walking down by them projects. What's them projects over there? I think Fat Joe is from the project. I know Delvin
no,
knows.
Fat Joe from Forest Projects.
Okay, Forest Projects. There's a liquor store across the street. Those little stores and all of that, right? The Chinese liquor store. I seen a young brother 9 o'clock. They sell liquor there at 9 o'clock. I seen a young brother with a personal bottle of Henny in his back pocket. So clearly,
Mm,
the brother going through something if he's drinking Hennessy that early in the morning.
right, every day I see that people where I live at, they out here waiting for the store to
Mm,
open. They wait, they online, like if it's a doctor's office or something like that to open up.
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Mm, right. Some people lie. What open minded just says, some people lie so strong that they believe their own lie, or we believe our own lie. Like that's, you deep
Yeah.
into that. You deep into that. I was guilty of this. I was guilty of this. I went through life myself. I was guilty of this. And even till today, I'm not perfect, but I know I go to bed at night and I'm comfortable knowing that I gave it my best, like the very best I could, like to be a better person, not only for myself, but for the people I'm around on a daily basis, for the people I interact with on a daily basis.
No doubt.
You guys, you guys will be able to, like, I can tell when we watching YouTube, I can tell, like, if if you guys see me, you guys will be able to, yo, Kumba's he's doing something. Like one day he's like this, and one day he's like this, and one day he's like that. Like it's bipolarness. Like it becomes obvious. And now we're watching people on YouTube to see the crash out, not even to help them. We want to see them crash out. Like,
Somebody put the brother scheme up there. The brother scheme. I think he fell asleep or something like that. Fell asleep. But I remember I was listening to the brother Kid Cudi, and I think he's sober these days. But he said that he used to have to get high before every interview. And I think the Vibe magazine that I was reading. So it's crazy that people think that they need this. Like it's some special. It gives you some special ability. Like some people say
right.
that they have sex better when they drunk. Right? I love sober
Mm-hmm.
sex. It's the best for me. Sober sex. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
cut hair. My man used to say he cut hair. I don't know if anybody in here from Queens, if they knew Marty's Barbershop. It was on Jamaica Avenue on 161st Street, Italian brother. And he said he used to cut his best hair when he was high on cocaine. So you
Mm-hmm.
really believe this. And like the brother said, they're lying to themselves and they start to believe this lie.
Right. Right. Bad Gates and ex open minded. Mm.
Yeah,
I wonder
Bathgate.
why you still.
I used to live over there by Bathgate. I used to live on Tremont in Washington, man. Right over there by the church. I think Bathgate is like
Mm.
lock up.
There used to be a barber shop called Six Corners Barbershop on Prospect Ave, next to Big
Mm.
R, and the package store. I wonder if that barber shop is there. I used to have a guy. His name was CJ. He actually
Right.
did the New York Knicks, their logo on my head when I was like in sixth or
Okay.
seventh grade. Oh my god, reminiscing,
That's
reminiscing.
what you said that I said Southern Boulevard, not Southern Boulevard. It's what you said. Prospect is when you turn Prospect and go down there by the project. So it's Prospect, not Southern Boulevard.
Yeah, there's McKinley, Forest,
Mhm.
Littleville's over there. I think the other projects is called Jackson Projects or Jackson Houses. That's actually where I was at when I was with my friends and I smoked that weed that made me all sad. We was right outside, right under the train track behind
Just got to do a
Jackson
part two.
Houses.
King Delvin, definitely part two. Yeah, Mel
Oh,
Cross used
boom.
to work. Yeah, that's the first time I bumped into the brother Mel Cross. And salute to Mel Cross. I just bumped into the brother the day before yesterday. I was chatting with the brother.
Nice, nice, nice. Nice. It's hard, man. People out there, man. Any advice I could give y'all? Stay strong. Um, let your support system help you. Don't be
Don't be
defensive.
shy.
You know, right? Appreciate, embrace it, embrace it. Don't be embarrassed. Like you're not alone. There's millions of us out here that have these issues. There's a lot of us, a lot of us. You know, and
Yep, I
coping with
agree.
it is very significant. And just give it your best, but don't give up on yourself because you're not only giving up on yourself, you're giving up on your loved ones. Like especially if
That's
you have
true.
if you have kids, man, that should be your reason to want to do better. You have a happy home, a wife that loves you, let them be proud of you. You know, let them remember you don't want to leave and the only memories we have of you is you always being messed up or high on something. Like that's not that's not the path that we should want to take. Mm. Are you there? Did you freeze up too, Cos? Cos froze up. Let me give him a second. That's what it's called, Jackson Peace. Yeah. I got caught hopping the train over there back in the day, Delvin. I didn't get in trouble though. They just put me in the office and let me go. 'Cause I was a minor. Cos, where'd you go? Cos, then you got Littleville. But yeah, people, I am Eric. That was Cosmology Bay. Look like he's freezing up and he's who's in there? Let me check out the chat. Do a part two. I don't know if maybe y'all can hear me, still hear me. I'm gonna wrap this show up. Thank y'all for stopping by. Again, subscribe to Cosmology Bay. Make sure y'all subscribe to me. And again, fight your fight to the best of your ability. Only one can judge. But just give it your best, give it your best, give it your best. You good, Cos. I'm about to wrap the show up. I'm gonna check back up with you in a little bit. Thank you, thank you. This was definitely great. I love this one. I'm sure my wife was watching on her lunch break too. Like, go ahead, babe, talk. Go ahead, babe, talk. Because she rolled with me. She's seen me at my worst and she's seen me at my best. And sky's the limit. You know, we're going to keep growing and keep being our best versions. She made me better. I make her better. Just like Kaz. Kaz makes me better. I make him better. At least I like to think. Thank you, yo. Y'all bless up. Peace, love, 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 love,